Breaking down the nice guy mindset, inspired by Dr. Robert Glover. Introduction. Why nice isn't working. Most men are raised to believe that being nice is the key to getting what they want. Love, success, and respect. We're told to be agreeable, polite, and considerate. But somewhere along the way, that message got twisted. Many men took nice to mean self-erasing. They learn to suppress what they want, avoid conflict, and hope that being pleasing will earn them approval. It doesn't. It creates quiet frustration, resentment, and a hollow sense of manhood. The nice guy is the man who tries to win by never upsetting anyone. He hides his desires behind forced smiles, apologizes for things that aren't his fault, and waits for others to validate him. He avoids rejection at the cost of self-respect. This book is about breaking that pattern. It's about learning to stand up straight, speak your truth, and stop trying to earn permission to exist. The world doesn't reward the man who blends in. It respects the man who leads himself. Chapter 1. The Birth of the Nice Guy. Nice guys aren't born, they're built. Most start in childhood, learning that love feels conditional. When a boy is praised only when he's good, he starts linking approval with obedience. If expressing anger, need, or ambition gets him scolded, he buries those parts of himself. He becomes skilled at reading people's moods, anticipating what they want, and adjusting his behavior to keep peace. It works for survival, but later it becomes a prison. As an adult, that same pattern turns into chronic people-pleasing. He becomes the coworker who picks up everyone's slack, the boyfriend who never says what he wants, the friend who avoids hard conversations. Deep down, he hopes that being endlessly accommodating will make people see his worth. The irony, the more he tries to be liked, the less he's respected. People sense when a man has no boundaries. Niceness becomes manipulation, a way to control outcomes without ever taking a stand. True strength begins when a man stops negotiating for approval and starts living by his own standards. Chapter 2. The hidden agenda of niceness. Nice guy rarely admits it, but niceness comes with strings attached. He does favors expecting appreciation. He listens to others' problems, hoping to be loved in return. He gives endlessly but secretly keeps score. When the world doesn't pay him back, he grows bitter. Real kindness asks for nothing. But nice guy behavior is often a strategy. If I'm good enough, maybe they'll give me what I want. That might be affection, validation, or sex. It's an emotional bargain nobody agreed to, and it never works. 1. People don't trust men who hide motives behind smiles. They can feel the neediness beneath the surface. That's why the nice guy gets looked, while the assertive man, who simply owns what he wants, gets attention and respect. Breaking this pattern means cutting the unspoken contracts. You don't help someone to earn points. You do it because it's right, or you don't. You don't give compliments to get affection. You say what you mean and stand by it. When your actions come from self-respect instead of hidden deals, people start responding differently. They might not always like you, but they'll start believing you. Chapter 3. Living without boundaries. A man without boundaries is a man without identity. Most nice guys say yes because they're terrified of what happens if they say no. They fear rejection, guilt, or being seen as selfish. So they agree to everything: extra work, uncomfortable favors, emotional dumping, until they're drained and resentful. The truth, saying yes all the time doesn't make you good. It makes you weak. Boundaries are not walls, they're clarity. They tell the world, this is where I end and you begin. When you start setting them, people will push back. Some will call you arrogant, cold, or distant. But that's not your problem, it's theirs. The people who benefit from your lack of boundaries will always be the first to complain when you grow a spine. Boundaries are built through small acts of courage, saying no without an essay of excuses, walking away from manipulation, not explaining your worth. Every time you choose discomfort over self-betrayal, you reclaim a piece of your power. Chapter 4. The fear of disapproval. Every man wants to be liked. but the nice guy needs it. His self-worth lives and dies in other people's opinions. If someone disapproves of him, he feels anxiety, guilt, even panic. So he molds himself into whatever version of a man he thinks the world will applaud. But no matter how carefully he performs, disapproval is unavoidable, and the act only makes him miserable. Freedom starts when you realize that being disliked won't kill you. Disapproval is simply proof that you're standing for something. Every leader, every artist, every man who's ever made an impact faced criticism. If you live your life avoiding offense, you'll never live at all. Men who chase approval tend to attract manipulative people, those who sense the weakness and use guilt to control. When you stop needing permission, you become untouchable. You can listen to feedback without bending your values. You can respect others without surrendering yourself. It's not arrogance, it's grounded confidence. You stop being a pleaser and start being a man with a backbone. Chapter 5. Rediscovering Masculinity in modern culture has confused masculinity with toxicity, and many men respond by suppressing it altogether. They soften their voice, dull their ambition, and avoid anything that might make them look too strong. But strength isn't the enemy, it's the foundation of peace. True masculinity isn't about dominating others, it's about mastering yourself. The masculine core is about direction, responsibility, and purpose. It's the ability to stand still when chaos hits and to move forward when fear whispers don't. A man connected to his masculine energy doesn't need to prove it. He's calm, decisive, and grounded. You can feel it in his presence, the quiet certainty that he knows who he is. Rediscovering masculinity means reconnecting with challenge. Stop numbing discomfort with distractions. Start doing hard things again. Training your body, learning discipline, facing confrontation. A man grows through friction. Without it, he becomes dull and lost. Masculinity, at its core, is the power to create order from chaos. And the world desperately needs more men who can do that. Chapter 6. The power of conflict. Most men are terrified of conflict. They think it ruins relationships, makes them look aggressive, or causes people to leave. So they bury anger, swallow opinions, and agree to things they hate just to keep the peace. But here's the truth. Avoiding conflict doesn't create peace. It creates silent wars inside you. Every time you silence yourself to keep someone comfortable, you lose respect, both theirs and your own. Conflict, handled well, isn't destruction. It's truth coming to the surface. It's clarity. It's life testing whether what you stand for is real. Men who master conflict don't go looking for fights. They just stop running from them. They can look someone in the eye and say, "No, I don't agree," or "That doesn't work for me." Calm, firm, grounded. It's not about ego. It's about integrity. You can't build respect or intimacy without tension. They require honesty, and honesty sometimes burns. If you want peace, stop chasing harmony. Chase truth. When a man embraces conflict, he earns freedom. He stops fearing what others think and starts focusing on what's right. Chapter 7. Owning desire without guilt. Nice guys hide their desires like secrets. They fear being judged for wanting too much money, power, sex, or attention. So they pretend they're content with less, then secretly envy the men who aren't afraid to go after what they want. Desire isn't shameful. It's the raw energy that drives creation, progress, and confidence. When suppressed, it turns into frustration or passive manipulation. When owned, it becomes charisma and purpose. A man who owns his desire is dangerous in the best way. Not because he takes from others, but because he's honest about what he wants. He doesn't apologize for ambition. He doesn't shrink to make others comfortable. He goes after his goals with clarity, without playing games. That includes sexual desire. Most nice guys twist themselves into safe versions of men hoping to be liked, when women are drawn to honesty, to men who can express attraction without shame or neediness. Owning desire means you stop begging for approval and start living with intent. You become whole because you're no longer fighting your nature. Chapter 8. Rebuilding Self-Worth. The nice guy builds his self-worth like a house on sand, on how others respond to him. If someone praises him, he feels high. If someone ignores him, he crashes. That's not self-worth. That's dependency. Real confidence comes from alignment. It's when your actions match your values, when you respect yourself because you know you're living truthfully. You no longer need applause to feel worthy. You create your own respect through what you do every day. Rebuilding self-worth means taking full ownership of your life. No more blaming parents, partners, or luck. No more waiting for opportunities. You build them. Each time you take responsibility for your actions, your confidence solidifies. You start seeing yourself as capable, and others start seeing it too. Self-worth isn't built through comfort. It's built through challenge. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you tell your mind, I can trust me. And once a man trusts himself, nothing can shake him. Chapter 9. The authentic man. Authenticity is power. It's not about saying everything you think. It's about aligning what you say, what you do, and who you are. Nice guys fake harmony. Real men live in truth. You can feel authenticity when someone speaks. It's solid, grounded, no performance. There's no trying to impress. Just honesty, even if it's uncomfortable. Being authentic doesn't mean you're perfect. It means you're real. You admit mistakes. You show vulnerability without weakness. You express what you feel without dramatics. People trust you because they can sense there's no hidden motive behind your words. The authentic man doesn't chase trends or adapt his values to fit others. He knows his mission, his priorities, his limits. He walks into any room knowing that his worth doesn't depend on how he's received. That energy changes everything. It's magnetic, steady, and rare. Authenticity isn't something you find. It's something you uncover layer by layer as you stop pretending. Every time you choose honesty over comfort, you peel off another layer of the nice guy mask. By the time it's gone, what's left is simple and strong. A man who means what he says and lives it. For Chapter 10, Leading Yourself. A man who leads himself doesn't wait for direction. He doesn't chase motivation. He builds discipline. He knows that feelings come and go, but commitment stays. While others look for permission or validation, he takes responsibility for his own direction. Self-leadership is about ownership. You stop blaming the world, your past, or other people for how you feel. You stop trying to fix others before fixing yourself. You become your own authority, not in arrogance, but in maturity. When you lead yourself, you automatically inspire others. You don't have to preach. People feel it. Your consistency becomes proof. You show what's possible by the way you live, not by the words you say. Men who lead themselves don't need control. They create influence through example. They build habits that sharpen their mind and body. They surround themselves with people who challenge them, not drain them. They make their life a reflection of what they value. That's real leadership. Not noise, not posturing, but quiet direction, rooted in discipline. Chapter 11. Freedom through action. You can read, plan, and visualize forever, but nothing changes until you move. The nice guy hides behind theory. He overthinks, waits for the right moment, and calls it preparation. But waiting is just fear, wearing a clever disguise. Freedom begins with action. Every time you take a step, even a small one, you weaken fear's grip. You stop being a spectator and become the man who acts, fails, adjusts, and acts again. Action doesn't guarantee success, but inaction guarantees regret. You'll never feel confident thinking about doing something only by doing it. The man who moves forward despite uncertainty always grows, while the man who hesitates shrinks. Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's moving through it. When you start trusting your ability to act, the world opens up. You realize that you've always had the power. You just needed to stop waiting for someone to hand you permission. Chapter 12. Epilogue, the end of the nice guy. The nice guy wants to be liked. The grounded man wants to be real. The first lives in reaction. The second lives in creation. The nice guy seeks approval. The man of integrity creates respect. It's not about becoming cold or selfish. It's about becoming whole. When you stop living to please and start living to lead, everything changes. People treat you differently. You walk taller, you speak slower, you stop explaining your value and start embodying it. You no longer ask, do they like me? But do I respect myself right now? 5. Breaking the nice guy mindset isn't about becoming harsh. It's about finding balance. Kindness with strength, empathy with backbone, love without neediness. It's about realizing that being a good man doesn't mean being a weak one. When you stop apologizing for being yourself, the world finally meets the real you. And that man, grounded, direct, and unapologetically himself, doesn't chase life. He leads it. 6.